Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you've fired up Logic Pro, we're staring at that empty project, and you feel that mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of panic. Well, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and turn that intimidating blank page into a finished track you can be proud of.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? That feeling, it's like a rite of passage. If you felt that, trust me, you are not alone. But don't worry, today we're going to cut right through that confusion and give you a clear path forward so you can actually get those ideas out of your head and into your speakers.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics, just finding your way around. Then we'll cover some super important setup stuff. After that, it's all about the fun part, capturing ideas, polishing them up, and finally, I'll share some pro-level hacks that are going to speed up your workflow like you wouldn't believe. Okay, first things first. Before you can build a house, you got to know your tools, right? Same thing here. Let's break down the Logic Pro interface into the three main areas where you're going to be spending pretty much all of your time.
Think of it like this. It's super simple. The big area in the middle, the timeline, that's your canvas. It's where the story of your song gets built from start to finish. Over on the left, you've got the inspector. That's your paint palette. It has all the detailed controls for whatever track you've clicked on. And finally, the mixer. Just hit X to pop it open. That's your entire control room with all your faders lined up. Get comfortable in these three spots and you've basically mastered Logic's layout.
All right, now that we know where everything is, let's talk about setting things up for success from the very beginning. And I'm serious, spending 30 seconds on this now will save you from pulling your hair out later on, especially when it's time to hit that record button.
The number one setting you have to understand is your buffer size. It's really just a simple trade-off. Here's the rule. When you are recording anything, vocals, guitar, MIDI, you want a low buffer size, like 128. This gets rid of that horrible delay, the latency. But when you start mixing and your project is full of plugins, you need to crank that number up to something like 1024 to give your computer the processing power it needs to keep up.
But what happens when your project is already huge and you just need to add one more little synth part? The delay is impossible, right? Well, this is where a magical little button comes to the rescue. It's called low latency mode. You click it once, and it basically tells all the power-hungry plugins to take a quick nap, instantly getting rid of that delay so you can record your part perfectly in time. Now, it's not a perfect miracle. You gotta know what it's doing behind the curtain. Because it's turning off those CPU-heavy plugins, it also means things like your fancy sidechaining or reverb sends will be bypassed for a moment. You might also notice the track you're recording sounds a little quieter. Just be aware of this. Use it to record your part, then simply turn it back off. Okay, the technical setup is done. Now we get to the best part. Actually making music. Let's talk about a few features that honestly feel like cheat codes for grabbing those creative sparks before they disappear. Oh man, this is the worst feeling in the world. You're just noodling around on your keyboard, not even thinking about it, and you play something brilliant. You scramble to hit the record button, try to play it again, but it's gone. The magic is gone. We've all been there, and it's just heartbreaking.
Well, here's the secret that's going to change your life. Logic was already listening. That's right. Whether you're recording or not, Logic is always capturing your MIDI input in the background, just in case you play something amazing.
All you have to do is remember this one keyboard shortcut, Shift+R. You hit that, and boom, the last thing you played magically appears in a MIDI region right on your timeline. It's not exaggeration to say this is a creative lifesaver.
Here's another mind-blowing tool for capturing ideas. So let's say you hummed a melody into your voice memos or you've got a cool guitar riff. You can actually turn that audio into MIDI. Just turn on Flex Mode, choose the Flex Pitch option, and Logic will analyze the notes and create a brand new MIDI track from it. It's absolutely wild.
This next one is just pure creative fun. You can take literally any audio file from your computer, a single drum hit, a weird sound effect, a clip of your voice, and just drag it into an empty space in Logic. It'll ask if you want to create a quick sampler. Say yes. Instantly, that sound is now a playable instrument on your keyboard. It's so fast and so powerful. All right, our ideas are in the project. They're probably a little raw, a little messy. Now it's time for the editing phase. This is where we polish everything up and turn a good performance into a great one.
When you're recording something tricky, like a lead vocal or a guitar solo, don't stop and start over again and again. Just put a section on loop and record over it multiple times. Logic will automatically create something called a take folder, which neatly stacks every attempt.
Then you can just swipe with your mouse and pick the best word from take 1, the best phrase from take 3, and stitch together one perfect composite performance.
Let's talk about timing. We've all recorded something, a bass line, a drum part that's almost perfect, but a few of the notes are just a little bit sloppy. A kick drum that's just a hair behind the beat can throw off the entire groove of a song. Well, allow me to introduce you to FlexTime. This tool is an absolute monster. It lets you reach into an audio file and physically drag those sloppy notes right back onto the grid, just like you would with MIDI. Being able to quantize real recorded audio is a complete game changer for getting your rhythm section locked in tight. But what about the opposite problem? Sometimes your MIDI drums or piano parts sound too perfect, too robotic. That's where the humanize function is your friend. It intelligently adds tiny random variations to the timing and the velocity of the MIDI notes, making a perfectly programmed part feel like it was played by an actual human being. All right, last section. We're going to wrap up with a few of my absolute favorite pro workflow hacks. These are the little things that once you start using them, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. They will save you so much time and frustration. Okay, every Logic user knows this pain. You've got a beautiful, long synth chord that holds for 8 bars. You hit play in the middle of that chord to check something, and you hear nothing. Silence. You have to drag the playhead all the way back to the start of the note just to hear it. It's so annoying. Thankfully, there is a one-click fix. It's a little setting called MIDI Chase. You just dive into your project settings, find the MIDI tab, and tick the box next to notes. That's it. You've just told Logic to look back whenever you hit play and see if any notes are supposed to be ringing out. Turn it on once per project, and that problem is gone forever. As your songs get bigger, they can get really messy really fast. Track stacks are the solution. They let you group a bunch of related tracks, like say all 12 of your backing vocal layers, into one neat little folder. And even better, a summing stack gives you one master volume fader for that whole group, so you can put one EQ or one compressor on all your drums at once. It's essential for staying organized. So there you have it. From the magic of capture recording and the power of FlexTime to simple sanity savers like MIDI Chase and track stacks, Logic is just packed with these incredible tools. But here's my advice. Don't try to master them all tomorrow. Just pick one. Pick one thing from this explainer and make a promise to yourself to use it in your next session. So, what's it going to be? Which one are you going to try first?